It's Monday, July 5th, 2021, and the morning edition is live. On today's show, the Prime Minister advising Bahamians to get registered, a high demand for jobs in the maritime industry, we're on the road to independence, and our men's national basketball team scores big in El Salvador. So let's start the morning off right. Is on to the country's 48th independence. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the morning edition. I'm LaDon Davis.
Good morning, everybody. I'm a happy Charles Fisher.
I see you have your nice
we got our flags from beyond
flags.
Yes.
Feeling festive?
Yeah, we gotta show our pride this week. But not only in the month of July, BMA should always show pride, and that's make sure we do it extra in July.
And speaking of pride, we have the Right Honorable Reverend Dr.
We have some history and knowledge in the studio this morning, so we're going to learn a lot about our independence. And you know what? You know what persons are waiting on?
The trivia question.
The trivia question. But you had a great weekend?
I had a very good weekend. Very restful. A lot of rain. We had a lot of rain.
Yeah. So those mangoes and those sour sop should be ready and good. And crops should start walking as well.
That's something we love to eat, right?
So thank God for the rain. But once again, we have this nice school bag, all donated by Janae's Uniform Center. And we have a great question this morning for you viewers out there. Let's bring it up on the screen. Which two schools in Nassau are named after father and daughter? And the number 502-3870. Which two schools in Nassau are named after father and daughter? And you can win yourself this nice school tote bag, 502-3870. Think somebody's going to get that this morning?
Yeah, that's a pretty good one. Pretty good one. Interesting, good.
And they can hear our producer, Anton, in the back there. And he's already wrong. Don't try it, Anton. You are wrong to the wrongest. Well, let's now take it out to the streets where Lloyd Allen is standing by with somebody we've met in quite some time. Good morning.
Well, good morning, LaDon and Fisher, and good morning, Bahamas. It is a great start to the Monday morning, your traffic report coming in from Prince Charles Drive. Now, around the island, drivers should be aware that there was sporadic rain overnight, which may create some challenges. Other than that, no major challenges reported around the island. So, of course, you want to drive with caution and care as you make your rounds around town today. Also today, we're joined by Sergeant Crestania Johnson from the Royal Bahamas Police Force Traffic Division, giving us an update on traffic development over the weekend period.
Well, a pleasant good morning to you and a pleasant good morning, Bahamas. Over the weekend period, we've had 12 accidents that involve damage, 4 hit-and-run accidents, and 4 accidents that involve injury. On a more somber note, we also had a traffic fatality in the island of Andros, and as a result, an officer lost his life. And we want to take this time now to extend condolences to the family of PC4010 Aaron Andrews. Heartfelt condolences to your family.
As we're out here this morning in Prince Charles Drive area, we're right between Doris Johnson High School and the Alive store. And of course, many persons who utilize this area know that it creates a bit of a challenge for persons utilizing this commercial area, getting off the highway or merging onto the highway. Officer Johnson, any particular advice?
Yes. For the past several weeks, you know that we have been attending some international training, and we found that a lot of things are in common. You know that when you travel abroad, they usually have those wider streets. Here in the Bahamas, we utilize dual lanes. And utilizing those dual lanes, we find that persons increase their speed. What COVID has had an effect on is the fact that less vehicles are on the street and more people speed. So as you can see, even from this morning, we find that a lot of persons are misjudging the speed of others, and they're merging onto the streets without using added caution. So we want to, as much as possible, if you're coming onto a highway or any dual carriage road, you want to ascertain your way clear. You want to be decisive in your driving as much as possible. Persons who are utilizing the main road and you do have the right of way, as much as possible, decrease your speed as pertains to your road condition and the type of area that you're traveling in. If you're in a high pedestrian traffic area, as much as possible, slow down and adhere to the speed limit. The speed limit again is 15 to 25 miles per hour if you're traveling in residential areas.
And of course, that's a quick look at your Monday morning traffic report from the area of Prince Charles Drive for the morning edition. Lloyd Allen, LaDon, and Fisher, back to you guys in studio.
Thanks a lot, Lloyd. We are waking up to 79 degrees, cloudy, wind south at 5 miles per hour. Moisture associated with Tropical Storm Elsa will affect portions of the northwest Bahamas as it continues to pass southwest of the islands today. For all areas, weather variable cloudiness, breezy and hot with scattered showers and isolated thunderstorms, mainly across the northwest Bahamas throughout tonight. Daytime high temperature still a little hot, 90 degrees Fahrenheit, overnight low 75. As we look ahead to Tuesday, winds subsiding a bit with a shower, 89 in the day, 79 at night. And then on Wednesday, a thunderstorm expected in the afternoon, 89 in the day, 80 at night.
With political campaigning in high gear, the big question remains whether or not an early general election will be called. While Prime Minister, the Most Honorable Dr. Hubert Minnis, maintains the election is still scheduled for next May, but he is strongly advising Bahamians to register to vote.
In our system, the people select their government at the ballot box. We have free and fair elections. We have an orderly process in how we select those who represent us in Parliament. I want to encourage you all who need to register to do so in the shortest possible time. The right to vote was fought. This was fought for by our founders. We should not take it for granted. The collective will of the people decides who should govern.
Health officials pleased that Bahamians are answering the call to get inoculated as the national COVID-19 vaccination numbers inch closer to the 100,000 mark. For those still not wanting to take the AstraZeneca brand, Health Minister the Honorable Renwood Wells shared this bit of good news.
We're looking probably by the second week in July to receive the Pfizer. That's what's being projected as being offered, and so hopefully at that point in time we will have a defined date when we can come back to the Bahamian people and let them know. And by the way, we do have the capacity inside country now to store Pfizer at the immunization facility that we have here in country. We're not exactly sure as yet as to how much doses the Bahamas will be receiving, but whatever the doses are, we're going to get them quickly into the system.
40 new cases of COVID-19 reported in the Ministry of Health's latest release, 35 here in New Providence, 4 in Bimini and Cat Key, and 1 in Exuma. The national COVID-19 case count now stands at 12,881. 2 of the New Providence cases have a travel history within the past 14 days. Other new cases, 19 comprise of males and the other 21 are females. Hospitalizations stand at 57, 54 moderately ill, and 3 in the intensive care unit. There are 808 active cases with 66 new recoveries, bringing that total to 11,737. The COVID-19 death toll is at 250. Officials at the National Cruise Port hailing the progress made as Phase 1 of the Cruise Port Improvement Project continues. Work on the multi-million-dollar upgrade began last year, December, and is set to be completed in 2022. Nassau Cruise Port CEO Mike Morris says this month the company began yet another phase of the improvement project, which includes the commencement of works on a new and improved 30,000 square foot arrivals terminal.
We'll have offices for our team at Nassau Cruise Port, for Bahamas Customs, Immigration, the Port Department, medical facilities, and I want to recognize the support that we get from Immigration, Customs, and the Port Department today as they work from very difficult trailers, office trailers. They don't have the space that they need, but they're really right there partnering with us, knowing that in a short while, a year from now, they're going to be in the right kind of office worthy of their agency.
Close to 500,000 visitors have vacationed in the Bahamas so far this year. Tourism officials credit the visitor uptick to the beauty and warmth of the Family Islands.
29% go to Eleuthera, 20% go to Bimini, 19% go to Abaco, which I found very, very encouraging, given the fact that obviously they were impacted by Hurricane Dorian and their infrastructure, their tourism infrastructure received such a blow. But they are obviously, I hear the Keys are rebounding very, very robustly, and Marsh Harbour is coming back quite smartly. Of course, there's a lot of work still to be done, but I'm encouraged that they're number 3 in the ranking table of Family Islands, and then number 4 was Exuma at 17%. So those are how the Family Islands are measuring up right now, and they're the most resilient component of our tourism product. So when there's an economic downturn or there's a weather event, they bounce back ever so quickly, primarily because of the loyalty of their visitors and the fact that many of those visitors are second homeowners.
And the Ministry of Education and Youth Sports and Culture headquarters on University Boulevard will be renamed the Ivy Dumont Building in a ceremony later today. Dumont was the country's first female Governor General and a former Minister of Education. The pre-show begins at 10:30 this morning, and you can catch the ceremony live right here on the ZNS Network.
Our men's national basketball team finishing a perfect 3-0 at the America 2023 World Cup pre-qualifiers in El Salvador over the weekend. The most impressive win came on Friday night against Cuba. The Bombers trailed by 18 points entering the fourth quarter and rallied for an 89-88 win. The other two games much easier, 75-71 over Costa Rica and an 87-79 win over the hosts in the finale last night. Travis Munnings led the Bahamas almost at 15 points per game. The Bahamas now moving on to the next round. Our men's national soccer team also in action over the weekend in Fort Lauderdale in the Gold Cup qualifiers, taking on highly favored Guadeloupe. Bahamas had some early chances but couldn't capitalize, with Ian Lowe in goal making some spectacular saves. The Bahamian defense held up for most part, but on the hour mark, Guadeloupe finally broke through and they added another goal just minutes later. That was all the scoring in the match as Guadeloupe moved on with a 2-0 victory. And our men's Davis Cup team was on the verge of moving on to the World Group 2 playoffs. As they had to do was beat Jamaica on Saturday. Kevin Major got the ball bouncing for the Bahamas but lost in straight sets, 6-3 and 2. That put Justin Roberts in a must-win, and the Bahamian number 1 got off to a fast start, going up a set and a break. From there, it would be all Jamaica. Robert goes down 2-6, 6-3, 6-4, meaning the Bahamas will remain in Group 3 for at least another year.
And when we come back, we're on the road to independence, so keep it locked.
As the Bahamas celebrates another independence anniversary on July 10th, the morning team will mark the occasion in grand style. Whether it's catching crabs in Andros, growing pineapples in Eleuthera, swimming with the pigs down in Exuma, or raising mutton on Long Island, the morning edition will showcase it all, but with your help. So send us a video of what your island produces to KenoshiSims@gmail.com.
Everything is changing, and your favorite hardware and home improvement store is getting with the program. We Buy You Sell is rolling out its new online shopping feature. If you go to our website, wbusbahamas.com, it's a quick and easy 3-step process. Step 1, browse the gallery and select your item. Step 2, add to cart. And Step 3, check out. Go to our website, wbusbahamas.com, to shop with us today. That's why we got the
Last week we gave you a bit of a history lesson on what the national song of the Bahamas is and how you can sing it. Well, this morning we are joined by the writer of that song and the national pledge, the Right Honorable Reverend Dr. Philip Ramming. Dr. Ramming, it's so great to have you with us this morning.
I'm happy to be alive, to be here and can speak like this with you.
So let's get right to it, Dr. Ramming. So where did the inspiration behind penning the national pledge and Song of the Bahamas come from?
I think I know it is Fox Hill. People said that Fox Hill, no good, nothing good could come out of Fox Hill. And because of that, I was driven from a child to say that Fox Hill is alive and Fox Hill can do something. I went to school in Jamaica in 1961. And by 1962, Jamaica became independent. I voted in Jamaica's election because at that time, they were not Jamaicans, like we were not Bahamians, we were colonians. I voted there, and the person who wrote the national anthem was a Methodist minister. And I thought that since he's a minister, and if I was in training for the same thing, it'll be good when we become independent if I can write the national anthem. And I was influenced further by Martin Luther King Jr., who said the church has to be not the tail light, but the headlight of things. And I was inspired to go on. But a long period elapsed after that, and I forgot about it until one day in Southern Seminary that it came, and I wrote the song for the national anthem. I wanted the whole hog, the national anthem, but I got the pledge. I did the pledge afterwards. I sort of reduced the pledge to about 25 words. I think England says, 22. And another pledge, 52 words. But we made us about 15 words. I pledged my allegiance to the flag and to the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, which stands one people, united in love and service.
And is the national flag and the national song in our school's curriculum? And if not, do you see it there? Because a lot of Bahamians never even heard of the national song.
And the thing about it, I would meet people and ask about it. And they said, oh no, a woman wrote it and she died a long time. She died a long time.
And where would you like to see the Bahamas in the next 48 years?
Well, I think during that period, Sir Clement Maynard would tell the students, you need a certificate. And they would say, well, we have RK. He said, no, you need English and maths. Now we have left RK, religious knowledge, and gone to English and maths. And we have more of that than RK. And I think we need to go back again to RK in a sense, and to follow God as He leads us into a stronger nation.
Right, Honorable Reverend Dr. Philip Ramming, thank you so much for joining us here on the Morning Edition and giving us that history lesson. All the best to you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Well, as we continue to celebrate 48 years as an independent nation, a veteran educator and career public officer shares his view on the nation's progress since 1973. Says, although much has been accomplished, the Bahamas still has a long way to go. Umiko Knowles has that story.
As Bahamians prepare to recognize the country's 48th year of independence, Dr. Donald McCartney says, for the most part, citizens of the country have been miseducated about what it truly means to be independent.
In any nation that would have been a colony, I think its people look forward to quote-unquote freedom. But the point is that there's no pure freedom and there's no pure democracy. The point that I'm making is that whatever you do, there's some things that you've got to pay the price. For an independent nation, it doesn't mean that you're totally independent. You've got to depend on other nations for certain things that you would need to develop and to go forward.
He says as an independent country, the Bahamas has done well and highlights a few accomplishments.
We have seen the creation, I think, of national insurance. We've seen the country being able to establish a Marine force in the Royal Bahamas Defense Force to help to protect our borders. We've had more young people going off to school and getting higher degrees. We have more qualified teachers than we've ever had in the history of this country.
And now, at the dawn of 48 years of independence, the former educator says he has a frightening concern.
I look at the state of our young people in the nation today, 48 years after, and somehow or the other I think we've dropped the ball. To see particularly the state of our young men in an independent Bahamas, I don't see the morality, I don't see the commitment, I don't see the examples that need to be set for our young people to follow, because they are the future. They will be the ones to carry the baton long when persons of my age are off the scene.
And in spite of its shortcomings, McCartney believes that the Bahamas still has an opportunity to be the nation that it ought to be.
It calls for leadership in the country to be the example that they ought to be to the nation, to lead the way in teaching us how to act as one people and to be one and to be our brother's keeper.
Just in time for independence, the Central Bank of the Bahamas released a commemorative coin available from July 1st to the 21st. The coin comes as a $10 denomination made from fine silver and weighs in at just over 31 grams and features the Abaco parrot. This is nothing new for the bank, as the program began back in 1966 with the 7 and 9 coin set and has been used to signify significant events such as independence, the Olympic Games, as well as the 500th anniversary of Columbus' discovery of the New World. This newest collectible can be found at several authorized dealers, including Coin of the Realm, the Royal Bank of Canada, the New Providence Arts and Antiquities Museum, and Nassau Bullion Limited. A full listing of those dealers is posted on the Central Bank of the Bahamas' webpage. Here are some Bahamian fruit facts. Did you know that the soursop leaf turns 10,000 times more powerful when treating cancer? The leaf is also effective for head lice, bed bugs, gallbladder trouble, coughs, fever, and indigestion. The juice of the fruit can be taken orally as a remedy for liver ailments. Eating soursop can also compress inflammation, anemia, and leg cramps. It also has health benefits for women during pregnancy. Now, our very own technical director, Agatha Christie, has a green thumb when it comes to growing soursop and other fruits in her backyard. And recently, she let us in on how grateful she is for the fruits of her labor. Take a look.
The soursop just fell up the tree. It's big. So I'm gonna take it. Take a plug. You say it's like a grapefruit now that you say that. Oh my God. Darling. Sorry. It's good. It's good, Dawn. Sorry. Can't give you none. It's good.
You think Agatha couldn't bring some soursop for us to actually sample?
Always asking me, Fisher, when you cook and bring me fish to do that. I bet one person got that, Cindy.
I'm sure. And that looks sweet.
Yeah,
you could use some cream.
I remember my granddad used to make soursop ice cream. That was the best.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah.
All right. And as we head to the break, we take a look back at the day in Bahamian history. On July 5th, 1962, the largest catamaran ever built, the Tropic Rover, was on a shakedown cruise in Nassau. Also on July 5th, 1967, the man described as the architect on the colony's booming tourist business, Sir Stafford Sands, resigned his seat in the House of Assembly after holding it for some 30 years.
During this pandemic, it is our duty to ensure that all citizens, residents, and visitors are adhering to the COVID-19 safety protocol. Restaurants may operate utilizing curbside pickup, drive-through, takeaway, or delivery. Any establishment who allows the entry of any person not wearing a mask is liable upon a summary conviction to a fine of $500. I am Ambassador Ashanti Ruko of the COVID-19 Enforcement Unit. Save a life that may be your own.
This message brought to you by the Ministry of National Security in conjunction with the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas.
It is
In the NBA Finals is all set. Bahamian big man DeAndre Ayton and the Phoenix Suns will host Game 1 Tuesday night against the Milwaukee Bucks, who won the Eastern Conference Championship over the weekend in 6 games over the Atlanta Hawks. The Suns swept the regular season series, winning both games, but both were only by a single point, and one game went into overtime. DA averaged 18.5 points and 10 rebounds in those 2 games. The Suns are a slight favorite to win their first title in franchise history. Game 1, once again tomorrow night, tips off at 9 o'clock. Meantime, Jonquel Jones and the Connecticut Sun not at their best over the weekend as they finish up a 2-game series with the Indiana Fever. The Fever scoring just their second win of the season, 73-67. JJ had 16 points and 9 rebounds. The Suns play again on Friday against Atlanta and New York on Sunday. From there, Jonquel will be off to play in the 3rd WNBA All-Star game ahead of the Olympic break, which runs until August 15th. And checking on Jazz Chisholm and the Miami Marlins, losing 2 of 3 over the weekend to the Atlanta Braves. Jazz with only 1 hit in 8 plate appearances. The Marlins start a 4-game series tonight at home with the LA Dodgers. And now with the Bahamas now a hub for cruises, you may be thinking, I just might need to get a job in that industry. Well, there's a school right here in the Bahamas many may not know about, the Bahamas Maritime Academy, that offers courses for seafarers with a diploma in nautical science. Dr. Brenda McClure is the school's president, which is located right, you should know, Coral Harbor used to be at Ahwahnee,
which is one step below the bachelor's degree. If the student were to continue his studies for another year, he would obtain a bachelor's degree from almost any other university, which some of our students have done. And what it does is prepare our students to go to sea as third and fourth officers, whether it's a cruise line, a bulk carrier, a gas tanker. They're qualified to do that once they've passed our courses here successfully, once they've passed what we call the Bahamas Maritime Authority, who is our accrediting board, and they pass those exams, they could work internationally.
Presently, there are 50 students on campus, but that is not the total enrollment.
We do have students who are out to sea because our program is designed where students get internships. So for instance, if a student comes here for 3 years, what happens is they're on the ground for 2 years dealing the theoretical and the practical work home here on the campus. And then what they have is another 18 months out at sea, of which 12 must be at sea. All right, so we give them an 18-month period for which they must do 12-month, what we call sea experience, which is our phase 3. So while on the ships, they may travel globally, worldwide, to gain and garner that experience, so that once they have completed and taken their BMA exams, they would have had the theoretical training as well as the practical training, which actually puts them in a good light for sitting and passing their BMA exams.
And there is a high demand for these type of jobs.
Everything is more or less by the water or the sea. And you think about the Bahamas, we are less than 1% of the population that work on the sea. So here it is a great opportunity for us to do so. We're now being a home port for several cruise lines, which augur well for us. A number of our students are out to sea now because the demand is great. And what you're finding from our research is that a lot of the seafarers who are out there now are becoming of age and need to be replaced. You find seafarers who are there now, they're not on the cutting edge of technology. And as we move forward, the shipbuilders are changing the way things move and shape at this time. We have several of our quays here now that are operated by some of the cruise lines. They're looking for port managers. They're looking for inspectors, boat inspectors. You have doctors who can be on sea. They just need to have the qualifications. The accountants, it's just like a city on the water. So some of the same job opportunities, what we call onshore, are the same things that are on board.
Just to make one correction, not Coral Harbor, I was thinking about going home, but Coral World.
And that cruise looks very good. Very tempting.
Looks like a career after career in the cruising industry, and I was so impressed with the Maritime Academy. Now tomorrow we're going to talk with some of the students who have been all over the world.
Oh wow.
Male and female, you'll be impressed with them. But we have a winner this morning.
Okay, before we go, we want to say a special hello to our Facebook fan, Edith Ferguson. She watches the morning edition every morning. Fisher, I'm sure you go down the list and you see, her on. She's on every morning watching us. So hello to Edith Ferguson.
Now to the trivia. Who's the two? Who's the two?
C.H. Reese and I think Anatole Rogers.
Oh, you saw the answer before it came up. C.H. Reese and Anatole Rogers, father and daughter whose schools in Nassau are named after. And the winner is Shauna Major Johnson. She won herself this nice school bag, Shauna Major Johnson. We're going to have a lot of trivia questions about the Bahamas this week and looking forward to it. I forget to compliment you on your colors. You're glowing this morning.
Thank you. And I see you got the memo.
Yeah, I got the memo. I don't want you rowing me today.
And be sure to stay tuned into the ZNS Network for news as it happens, TV and radio updates throughout the day. Then you can tune into the Northern Edition and the Bahamas Tonight at 7. And that's a wrap for us this morning for the entire team.
88 years old, Dr. Philip Rahman.
Right honorable.
Right honorable.
Right honorable. Have a great morning, everyone.